Fans are demanding to change the name of Jujutsu Kaisen to Peak Jujutsu because this anime is on fire. After spending a whole season in a movie to let us get attached to the main characters, Jujutsu Kaisen has returned to give us trauma by piling up the bodies of our favorite characters. Despite the issues going on with the studio at the moment, they were able to deliver us extremely breathtaking animated fights. Whoever tells you otherwise is someone who feels bad for his favorite anime being overshadowed by Jujutsu Kaisen. Thanks to Geigi and Isayama, we can pronounce 2023 as the year of trauma. Now, there's one character of Jujutsu Kaisen that is not present in the Shibuya arc, but still has a huge fandom due to a whole movie on him. Yes, we are talking about Yuta Okkotsu, who wasn't present in Season 1 in the Shibuya arc as he is training overseas in Africa with Miguel. Sure enough, things might have turned out a bit differently if he was present. Maybe one less body or something. There's no doubt that Yuta is indeed a powerful character, and has every potential of being the main character of this series. To our surprise, it's confirmed that Geigi originally planned to make Yuta the lead character of this series. However, he ended up settling for Itadori Yuji, who also has a huge fandom, and the number of fans must have surely increased after he literally violated Mahito in the more recent episodes. If we talk about similarities, Yuta and Yuji both have a nice and caring personality. Both would not think twice about risking their lives for their friends. Both did not have what people call a normal and happy childhood. Both were ordered by the higher-ups to be exterminated. Both were saved by Gojo Satoru, who was ready to kill the higher-ups if they refused his request. One is physically strong, while the other has immense cursed energy. Most importantly, Yuta had a girl he loved, while Itadori pre-ordered and got a tall and nice girl have a crush on him. Despite that, both are single. One was housing the King of Curses, while the other is housing the Queen of Curses. At this point, it's obvious that Geigi was in a pinch to choose the main character of his series. Let's look at the past and abilities of both these characters and see which one was more suited to be the main character of Jujutsu Kaisen. My name is TK, and let's get into some anime. Starting with Yuta Okkotsu, he is currently a second-year student at Jujutsu High, and he is also from the lineage of Michizane Sugawara, which makes him a distant relative of Gojo Satoru. Since his childhood, Yuta has been a very timid and lonely boy who was bullied a lot while growing up. It was because of Rika haunting much of his early life. In the words of Gojo, Yuta supposedly had the biggest curse on him, that is, the curse of love. He was unable to connect with other people and had no confidence in himself. That aside, he genuinely cares about other people and decides to isolate himself from others to protect them from his curse, even if it means being alone. Thanks to Maki, who called him out for living without any goal, Yuta decided to set up a goal to become a Jujutsu sorcerer who can protect anyone. Being an introvert, he still faced troubles in becoming more social, especially with Togi and Maki, because Yuta never understood what salmon meant in different situations. By gaining friends, he gained confidence in himself and established the goal of setting Rika free, as he felt responsible for her turning into a curse in the first place. After taking his friends and mentor Satoru's words to his heart, he showed everyone a more determined side of him to become someone who can help keep others out of danger. His darkest side was seen against Geto, who was supposed to be the second most strongest sorcerer of his time, and Yuta completely overpowered him. Geto's mistake was the same as Mahito's mistake, and Yuta's reaction was the same as Itadori's reaction. No room for forgiveness and the thirst to kill. During the fight, Yuta's rage to avenge his friends allowed him to control Rika's powers at will, and he was ready to go as far as sacrificing his life to use Rika to kill Geto so his friends would be avenged. Yuta will return after the Shibuya incident, accompanied by a new Rika, and I don't want to spoil too much, but we will get to see him against Yuji. Also, another little spoiler, Yuta just beheaded someone in the recent chapters. Finally, let's move on to Yuta's abilities. Yuta is one of the only 4 special grade sorcerers recognized by Jujutsu High. The 4 big names were, of course, Satoru Gojo, Yuki Tsukuyomo, Suguru Geto, and Yuta Okkotsu. Thanks to Rika's immense power, Yuta became the most recent person to receive this ranking. Know that this means Yuta is stronger than Mei, Todo, and even Nanami. Even the strong sorcerers that will be introduced soon. Only if Yuji could control Suguru like Yuta can control Rika, he would be even stronger than Gojo himself. But there would be no Jujutsu series in that case. Yuta became an expert weapon specialist after being given a katana to stabilize his cursed energy. After lots and lots of beatings from Maki, Yuta became an expert and will keep on wielding a katana as his weapon of choice. The spoiler I told about beheading, of course, it was with a katana. Just because he uses a katana does not mean he lacks hand-to-hand combat skills, because even without his cursed energy, Yuta will not fall behind in close combat. If we talk about his tactical intellect, without giving huge spoilers, I guarantee that Yuta is really smart and knows how to pull stuff off. Let him come back and we will see him being forced to carry out an order, and he will do it, but in his own way. Yuta's cursed energy is literally immeasurable. Firstly, he's from the lineage of Michizane Sugawara, so an immense amount of cursed energy comes from his genetics. It first manifested when he transformed Rika into a cursed spirit. Rika became a vengeful spirit, strong enough that even Geto had to call her the Queen of Curses. Her boundless cursed energy could be shaped into any technique. Even after she passed on, Yuta retained the cursed energy. And believe it or not, his cursed energy capacity exceeds even that of Satoru Gojo. About his cursed energy manipulation, Yuta improved his cursed energy control dramatically, and now he knows how to apply it according to the situation. Yuta's attacks are unpredictable, and his strength and agility are improved to such a degree that he can contend with Yuji's superhuman prowess. Every attack of Yuta is strong enough to end the battle with one hit, and his defense is so dense that it can restrict all incoming damage to a minimum. Yuta can unleash exceptional levels of cursed energy with his attack, just below the level of Ryu Ishigori. Yuta also possesses the unique ability to convert reverse cursed energy into output and imbues attacks with it as well. Now that we have an idea about his strength and agility, let's talk a little bit more about his endurance. He can jump from the top of the building and crumble the road from impact without doing any damage to himself. The Black Flash technique that Todo taught Yuji, which allows creating a spatial distortion when the user connects with an impact of cursed energy within a span of a millionth of a second. Yuta used it for the first time against Geto. All these abilities were of Yuta alone, so even without Rika, man is a beast. Now let's look at Rika's abilities. She serves as an external storage for Yuta's curse technique and tools. Yuta has much greater control over this version of Rika, but this curse is still immature and protective like the original one. She could even lash out at others to protect Yuta without him commanding her, and even though she normally acts on Yuta's commands, she can also act independently at a fair distance away from him to perform separate tasks. He can also completely manifest Rika through his ring for 5 minutes at a time, which allows him to replenish his cursed energy with hers or use the wide range of curse tools stored in her. His main innate technique is copy. He can copy innate techniques and use them as we saw him use Inumaki's curse speech, which only runs through the Inumaki family bloodline. He used the microphone to order all of Geto's swarm of lower grade curses to die at once, and they did. Yuta can also summon Shikigami using his hair as an intermediary. They appear as small bats with their heads similar to Rika. This technique is also a copied one, and he did it from Dhruv Lakadwala. While we are on copying, Takakao has the ability to manipulate the sky into a tangible surface and use it to manipulate space, just like a lens creating distortion. Of course, Yuta copied it as well. Yuta uses this technique by offensively hitting the surface of the sky and making it shatter like thin ice to strike his opponent with this effect. Yuta can use the reverse curse technique as well to heal his injuries. Most of the sorcerers can't use the reverse curse technique, and even few can output it. Yuta, on the other hand, can do both. A character as strong as him must have an extremely powerful domain expansion, but unfortunately we haven't seen much of it yet. There are new leaks for the new chapter that are coming out in another day or so. Once we get that, we'll be able to learn more about his technique. Yuta is plenty strong enough without his domain, but against Sukuna, they'll need to bust out all the secret moves in order to defeat him. There's no doubt that Yuta is the strongest sorcerer after Satoru, and now that he's a Kit Kat, Yuta might have to step up and avenge his mentor. Let's see how things go, but for now, we shall look at Itadori Yuji's past and abilities. Although Yuta's long list of abilities might make it extremely impossible to claim that Yuji is stronger than him, the thing is, Yuji doesn't have to be stronger than Yuta to be the main character. He wasn't stronger than Gojo after all. Itadori Yuji. Itadori Yuji is the main protagonist of this series, and he's the son of Jin Itadori and Kaori Itadori. Well, that's what we thought, but actually it was Kenjaku possessing Kaori's body, so Yuji is the son of Jin, Kaori, and Kenjaku. He was living a normal life in Sendai City until things went wrong and he encountered one of Sukuna's fingers. He comes across Megumi, eats Sukuna's finger to become Sukuna's vessel, and starts attending Tokyo Jujutsu High. Although the higher-ups wanted to kill Yuji, Satoru politely told him that he could defeat even the 20-finger Sukuna, so there was no reason to kill Yuji before he ate all 20 fingers. Unfortunately, Satoru's statement didn't age well, but at least he cared a lot about Yuji. Just so the higher-ups did not kill Yuji, he hides one of Sukuna's fingers. so he never gets to eat 20 fingers, and the orders for Yuji's exterminations are not carried out. The 20th finger is still missing, and Sukuna doesn't care about it anymore, to be honest. Yuji has a very caring personality and truly cares about everyone, regardless of his relationship with him. He highly commends the value of life and ensures that the bad guys get a proper death. Taking a life is always a last resort for him, unless the person is Mahito. His personality is completely opposite of Yuta's. He's an extrovert with an energetic attitude towards everything. He can also get extremely angry, as we see him witness what Mahito did to Junpei. His defining trait is his willingness to sacrifice himself for others. Another big characteristic about him is that whoever gets on good terms with Yuji gets killed off by Gege. He calls these traumas for Yuji, the character developments. If any of you unfortunate guys ever come across Itadori, be careful because Gege might be coming after you next. For now, Yuji is still a weakling, curse-wise. But if we talk about his potential, Gojo thinks that Yuji has the same potential as Yuta and Hakari. He believes that these three students have the potential to surpass his strength someday. Keep in mind that Yuji only joined the Jujutsu world a few months before the Shibuya incident, but he has already defeated a grade 1 and special grade curse. He has superhuman physical abilities which, combined with his curse energy, prove to be strong enough to contain Sukuna. When Sukuna shifts his vessel, we will realize that only Itadori is strong enough to keep getting control of his body back from Sukuna. No one else can do so. Yuji possesses immense strength, speed, and reflexes. Not only that, but his durability surpasses the average sorcerer, as we saw him give a hard time to Choso. Yuji also has a lot of stamina. Man would never tire himself out, and his wife will be very lucky. Moreover, Yuji is a proficient learner because he's a curious person and an earnest student, so he's always progressing quickly. By hosting Sukuna, Yuji is resistant to all kinds of poisons. He can quickly master all kinds of weapons too. Yuji's curse energy is immense because it originates from Sukuna. Yuta has the innate technique to copy other people's techniques, but Yuta cannot copy Yuji's technique. That's because Yuji doesn't have one. However, he's still quickly learning how to control cursed energy. By repetitive training and using Black Flash, Yuji learned the nature of cursed energy and managed to land one on Mahito with maximum cursed energy. He displayed the ability to use it at will, which even Satoru Gojo couldn't do. He is capable of using Black Flash 4 times in a row. Another one of Yuji's skills is the use of Divergent Fist. After he lands a punch on his target, his flow of cursed energy makes a stronger second impact. Yuji can use it at will too. Yuji has a bounding vow with Sukuna that allows Sukuna to take over his body for a minute when the cursed spirit would chant "Enchain." Sukuna set up an additional condition that Yuji will forget about this vow, so he does. For now, that's all we know about Yuji, and in front of Yuta, who took a major part in this video. Yuji may seem too plain, but there's a reason for that. The difference in their strengths and how Yuta is way too OP in front of Yuji is exactly why Gege chose Yuji as the main character. He didn't want his main character to be already strong. Instead, he wanted a character who would see all his loved ones die in front of him and then pull some remarkable transformation. So eventually it falls on each viewer to see who would have been a better main character. If you prefer to see progress, which most of the people do, Yuji is the guy for you. However, if you already want an OP main character, Yuta might have been better for you instead. So, now for you guys, what do you all think? Who's the better main character? Who did Gege choose and who he did not choose? And do you think he made the right decision? Again, my name is TK. Let's go and battle out in the comments and see what's going on. Peacefully, of course. And my name is TK once again. Like, comment, subscribe, and give me any feedback in the comments. I'll see you guys next time. 万回千本桜影吉